I can't mimic voices for love or money. I'm completely hopeless at it. I was a really bad actor at school, and
In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace, Tom Parker Bowles, son of Queen Camilla, has been sentenced in a case cloaked in unprecedented secrecy. The ruling, delivered behind closed doors and mysteriously absent from public court records, has resulted in his immediate removal from public life. Palace officials have imposed an extraordinary information blackout, but our sources have uncovered the disturbing reality behind his sudden disappearance. What could the Queen's son have done to warrant such severe consequences? And why has the royal family gone to extreme lengths to keep it hidden? Stay tuned, because this revelation will forever change how you view the British monarchy. The Secret Tribunal. On what appeared to be an ordinary Tuesday morning, Tom Parker Bowles arrived at a nondescript government building in London's diplomatic quarter. Unlike the high-profile court appearances of celebrities or politicians, there were no press photographers, no waiting crowds, just an unmarked entrance guarded by individuals who carried no visible identification, but moved with unmistakable military precision. Dressed in a conservative gray suit with no distinctive features, Tom was escorted through a private entrance and vanished from public view. A food critic and author who had carefully balanced his royal connections with an independent career, his expression betrayed no emotion as the doors closed behind him. Inside awaited what one source described as a tribunal rather than a court. The small windowless room contained only essential personnel: a panel of 3 judges with specialized security clearance, legal representatives who identified themselves only by last name, and a defense team that our sources claim had been appointed rather than selected by Tom himself. This wasn't a legal proceeding as the public would understand it, revealed a source with connections to diplomatic security protocols. This was risk containment operating under the thinnest veneer of judicial process. The charges, while never formally announced, allegedly centered around unauthorized communications with foreign entities, specifically, individuals connected to both international media organizations and foreign intelligence services. According to our sources, Tom had been under surveillance for months after certain patterns of communication raised red flags within royal security circles. It began with his legitimate food-writing contacts, explained a former colleague who requested anonymity. But somewhere along the line, he began exchanging information that went far beyond culinary matters. Information about palace operations, security protocols, and most damaging of all, private communications between senior royals regarding matters of state. What made this case particularly sensitive was the nature of the information involved. Unlike typical royal scandals centered around personal indiscretions, the material Tom allegedly shared touched on the monarchy's relationship with government, the constitutional gray area where royal influence intersects with political power. During the 7-hour proceeding, Tom reportedly maintained the composed demeanor that had characterized his public life. He spoke only when directly addressed by the tribunal, neither confirming nor denying specific allegations. Those present described his bearing as resigned rather than defiant, the demeanor of someone who understood the institutional machinery he faced. The ruling, when delivered late that afternoon, was extraordinary in both scope and severity. While not termed imprisonment in any conventional sense, the sentence mandated Tom's immediate sequestration at an undisclosed location, with no access to communication devices, publication platforms, or unapproved visitors. The official terminology, protective isolation for reasons of national security, barely concealed the reality: permanent removal from public life. As Tom was escorted from the room through a secure exit, he reportedly made a single statement to the senior security official overseeing the operation: "Tell my mother I understand the necessity." This phrase, cryptic to those unfamiliar with royal dynamics, has been interpreted by insiders as acknowledgement of the monarchy's ultimate priority: institutional survival above individual interests, even when family is involved. Within hours, he had been transported from London via military aircraft, his destination known only to a handful of officials with the highest security clearances. The containment operation. The palace's official statement, released the following morning, made no reference to any proceedings. It simply announced that Tom Parker Bowles would be stepping back from public duties indefinitely to address private health matters and requested privacy. The brevity and vagueness only intensified speculation among royal observers. Behind the scenes, an elaborate operation was already underway, not just to manage Tom's physical removal, but to systematically erase evidence of his activities. Teams with specialized training in digital forensics simultaneously accessed his London apartment, office, and country home. Computers were seized, mobile devices confiscated, and physical documents removed. But the operation extended far beyond simple evidence gathering. This wasn't just about collecting materials, revealed a source with knowledge of security protocols. This was about eliminating all digital footprints, scrubbing communication records, and creating an alternative narrative about his absence that could withstand public scrutiny. Most telling was the treatment of his professional workspace. According to witnesses, the office where Tom wrote his food columns and books was not simply searched, but methodically dismantled. Digital storage devices were removed. Reference materials were cataloged and transported to secure facilities. Even seemingly innocuous items like notebooks and appointment calendars were treated as sensitive materials requiring special handling. The thoroughness suggested not just concern about what he might have already shared, but fear about what channels of communication he might have established that remained undiscovered. There was serious concern about dead drops, scheduled information releases, or material already positioned with publishers overseas, explained a former intelligence officer familiar with such operations. When someone with his connections commits to sharing sensitive information, the ripple effects can continue long after they've been contained. This fear drove the next phase of the operation, identifying and neutralizing potential associates. Editors who had worked with Tom found themselves subject to unusual scrutiny. Publishers reported subtle pressure to delay or cancel projects involving him. The pattern revealed a coordinated effort to isolate anyone who might have served as his conduit to the wider world. Digital traces began disappearing as well. His social media accounts were either suspended or suddenly managed with notably different content and tone. Archives of television appearances where he had discussed royal connections became mysteriously unavailable on streaming platforms. Even photographs in which he appeared at royal-adjacent events were quietly removed from official sources and media libraries. Most concerning to those tracking the situation was the treatment of his published work. His most recent food columns disappeared from publication archives. Bookstores reported receiving requests to return unsold copies of his latest cookbook for a corrected edition that never arrived. The systematic removal of his professional output suggested concerns that extended beyond personal indiscretion to something embedded in his public work. The concern wasn't just what he knew, but how he might have encoded that knowledge in his published writing, suggested a literary analyst who had studied similar cases of writers under government scrutiny in other countries. Food writing provides remarkable cover for transmitting information through seemingly innocent references. Ingredients can be code names. Preparation techniques can signify methods of operation. Restaurant locations can indicate meeting points. The royal family fractures. Behind palace walls, Tom's sentence reportedly created the most significant family crisis since Prince Andrew's fall from grace. Queen Camilla, caught between maternal instinct and institutional duty, was described by insiders as outwardly stoic, but inwardly devastated. According to sources familiar with palace operations, she was informed of the action against her son only hours before it occurred, presented not as a request for her approval, but as a security necessity already in motion. Camilla was effectively told, rather than consulted, said one palace source. This wasn't a mother being asked about her son's fate. This was a queen being briefed on an operation affecting the monarchy's security. King Charles, meanwhile, allegedly maintained a more detached position. Sources suggest he viewed Tom's actions through an institutional lens rather than a personal one, as a security breach requiring containment rather than a family matter requiring compassion. This perspective has reportedly created tension in the royal marriage, with moments of strained silence replacing their usually warm rapport. The king sees monarchy as his life's purpose, explained a longtime royal advisor. Threats to its stability override personal considerations, even when family is involved. Camilla hasn't yet developed that institutional callousness that royal life eventually demands. Prince William has reportedly supported the action, viewing it as regrettable but necessary for protecting the monarchy's future. According to palace insiders, he was among those briefed on specific communications intercepted from Tom and recognized their potential to undermine public confidence in royal neutrality on political matters, a cornerstone of the modern monarchy's survival. Most surprisingly, Princess Anne, known for her dedication to duty and protocol, has allegedly questioned the handling of the situation. Sources claim she has expressed concern about the precedent of removing a royal-adjacent figure through extrajudicial means, suggesting that, once we operate outside the law, we undermine the very system we claim to uphold. For Tom's sister, Laura Lopes, the situation has allegedly triggered profound distress. Unlike her brother, Laura has maintained an intensely private life despite her royal connections. Sources close to her family report that she has made repeated requests to contact her brother, all of which have been denied citing security protocols. Laura is essentially being told that any attempt to reach her brother could implicate her as well, revealed one source. It's a cruel but effective method of ensuring family compliance, the implicit threat that concern could be interpreted as complicity. For Queen Camilla herself, the situation has created an impossible position. Sources describe a woman torn between institutional obligation and maternal anguish, permitted no direct communication with her son since the sentencing. All information about his welfare and circumstances comes through official briefings provided by the same security apparatus that engineered his removal. In public, she performs flawlessly, noted one senior household member. In private, the strain shows in small ways. Moments of distraction, unusual irritability, the occasional canceled engagement citing mild indisposition. She's grieving while having to pretend nothing significant has happened.
These 2 hours, the presenters on every news channel were saying injured but expected to make a full recovery, and I have no idea why, but it made me so angry.
For years, people all over the world have wondered about what really happened to Princess Diana. Her sudden and tragic death left so many questions, but one thing remained the same. Her family stayed quiet. They never spoke much about it, never shared their deepest thoughts, never told the world what they truly felt. But now, after all this time, that silence is finally broken. Diana's brother and sister are speaking up. They are sharing things they have never said before, things that might change everything we thought we knew. What really happened? How did they feel when they lost her? And why have they waited so long to talk? The truth is finally coming out, and it might be more shocking than anyone ever expected. Why have they stayed silent for so long? For more than 2 decades, the world has asked the same question. Why haven't Princess Diana's siblings spoken openly about her tragic death? Why did they choose to remain silent while the media, the royal family, and conspiracy theorists debated what really happened on that fateful night? The truth is, their silence wasn't just a choice, it was a necessity. Losing Diana wasn't just about losing a public figure. For Charles Spencer and Sarah McCorquodale, it was about losing their beloved sister in the most painful, heartbreaking way possible. Their silence came from deep personal grief, fear of repercussions, and the need to protect themselves and their family from powerful forces at play. The Spencer family's private nature. Unlike the royal family, who live their lives under constant media scrutiny, the Spencers have always valued their privacy. Before Diana married Prince Charles, she and her siblings lived relatively normal lives, away from cameras and headlines. Even after she became the most photographed woman in the world, her family remained in the background, never seeking attention. When Diana passed away, their need for privacy only grew stronger. They weren't public figures. They weren't politicians. They were just a grieving family trying to make sense of an unimaginable loss. They didn't want to be part of the media circus that followed Diana's death. They didn't want to be interviewed, analyzed, or have their words twisted by tabloids looking for the next big headline. Instead, they mourned in silence. While the world cried over Diana's passing, Charles and Sarah had to bury their sister and deal with the pain that never truly faded. Imagine losing someone you love in the most tragic way possible. Now imagine that loss being played out on every TV screen, every newspaper, and every magazine cover for years. That was the reality for Diana's siblings. Grief is a personal journey, and everyone deals with it in their own way. For Charles and Sarah, talking about Diana meant reopening a wound that never really healed. It meant reliving the pain of losing her all over again. Every time they spoke about her, it wasn't just words. It was memories, heartbreak, and emotions that they had tried so hard to manage. And it wasn't just the loss itself. It was the way Diana died, the horror of the car crash, the images of paparazzi swarming her wrecked car, the relentless news coverage dissecting every second of her final moments. It was overwhelming. It was inescapable. And for Charles and Sarah, it was just too much to bear. Fear of backlash from the royal family and media. It's no secret that the royal family is one of the most powerful institutions in the world. Speaking out against them is not something people do lightly. Charles Spencer made it clear in his emotional eulogy at Diana's funeral that he believed the royals and the media had failed his sister. But pushing further, that would have been dangerous. Diana was known for her honesty, and she paid a heavy price for it. Every time she spoke out, the media twisted her words. The royal family distanced themselves from her. She became isolated, and in many ways that isolation led to her tragic fate. Charles and Sarah saw what happened to her. They saw how speaking the truth could make someone a target, and they weren't willing to take that risk. Previous legal and media threats. Many believed that Charles and Sarah's silence wasn't just their choice, it was enforced. Over the years, there have been rumors that legal threats, confidential agreements, and media pressure kept them from speaking out. There are stories of journalists being silenced, of investigations being shut down, and of people close to Diana being warned to keep quiet. If this is true, then it's no surprise that her own siblings chose to stay out of the spotlight. The royal family, the government, and powerful media organizations all had something to lose if the real truth about Diana's death came out. And maybe, Charles and Sarah knew that speaking up could put them in danger. After years of silence, Diana's siblings have finally started to speak up. And their words are bringing new insights into her death, her struggles, and the forces that may have been working against her.
And every day people tell me what an inspiration she was, how much they miss her, what they did the day she died. It's extraordinary.
Charles Spencer's recent comments. Charles Spencer has spoken about his biggest regret, not being able to protect his sister from the relentless media. He has expressed guilt over the fact that he couldn't shield her from the people who, in his view, ultimately led to her tragic end. He has also pointed the finger at the paparazzi, blaming them for the car chase that resulted in Diana's death. He believes that the photographers who hounded her that night in Paris played a major role in the crash and should have been held accountable. And then there's the royal family. Charles has suggested that Diana was not given the protection she needed. He has questioned why she was left so vulnerable, without the security she deserved. Was she abandoned? Was she set up? These are questions that many people, including Diana's own brother, continue to ask. Sarah McCorquodale's perspective. Sarah McCorquodale, Diana's older sister, has shared her personal memories of Diana's struggles. She has spoken about the pain Diana endured behind closed doors, the pressure she felt within the royal family, and the moments when she felt completely alone. Diana often confided in Sarah. She told her about her fears, her struggles, and her unhappiness in her marriage. She shared her worries about being followed, watched, and manipulated. And now, years later, Sarah is confirming what many have suspected. Diana knew something wasn't right. She feared for her safety long before that fatal night in Paris. As for the conspiracy theories, Sarah has said that there are still unanswered questions. She hasn't confirmed or denied any specific theories, but she has admitted that something about Diana's death just doesn't feel right. Diana, Dodi Fayed, and their driver, Henri Paul, left the Ritz Hotel in Paris. Paparazzi chased them. The car sped into a tunnel. Moments later, it crashed. Diana was still alive when emergency services arrived, but her injuries were severe. She was rushed to the hospital, but after hours of surgery, she was pronounced dead. The official investigation and inquest findings. The official investigation ruled it an accident. Henri Paul was found to have been drinking, and authorities blamed his reckless driving for the crash. The paparazzi were cleared of criminal responsibility. Case closed. Or was it? Many believe Diana's death wasn't an accident. Some think the royal family wanted her gone. Others believe it was a secret government operation. Even Mohammed Al-Fayed, Dodi's father, has claimed that the crash was a planned assassination. While they haven't fully supported the conspiracy theories, they haven't denied them either. Their recent comments suggest they still have doubts. They believe Diana was mistreated, left unprotected, and possibly even targeted. Their words don't completely contradict the official reports, but they do raise an important point. If Diana's own family still has questions, then maybe the full truth hasn't been revealed. One thing is certain: Diana's death remains one of the greatest tragedies in modern history. And now, with her siblings finally speaking out, the search for answers is far from over. As more details continue to surface, the world is still watching, still listening, and still searching for answers.
In a surprising moment that has reignited discussions about the inner workings of the British royal family, Princess Kate recently made headlines when she appeared to refuse to curtsy to Queen Camilla during a high-profile public event. The incident, caught on camera, has led to widespread speculation about possible tensions between the two royal figures. As protocol usually requires the Princess of Wales to show deference to the Queen Consort with a curtsy, Kate's decision to bypass this traditional gesture has been viewed by some as a pointed act of defiance, possibly reflecting underlying discord within the royal household. This moment, though brief, has added a new layer to the ongoing narrative surrounding the dynamics and relationships among the senior members of the monarchy.
If you look at the coronation footage as the king and queen leave the thrones and head for the exit of Westminster Abbey on the coronation Saturday, you'll see that everyone bows and curtsies to the king, and no one moves a limb, a muscle, when Camilla passes. And that was because they were angry with Camilla. Camilla brought 20 Parker Bowleses to the coronation. There were 4 Middletons. All the people that helped Camilla get the crown on her head were excluded from that coronation, and they were furious. And not only that, Kate and William were angry too. And that anger, of course, Harry was angry, that anger went right through that small part of the congregation by the throne, by the centre of Westminster Abbey.
Princess Kate's refusal to curtsy to Queen Camilla during a recent public event has become a focal point of royal watchers and media alike, triggering a wave of speculation about what might be going on behind the closed doors of the British royal family. This incident, while seemingly minor, has brought to light the complexities of royal protocol, the relationships between senior royals, and the public's fascination with even the smallest gestures within the monarchy. For centuries, the British royal family has been steeped in tradition, with every move, gesture, and word often carrying significant weight. The act of curtsying in particular is more than just a polite gesture. It is a deeply symbolic act of respect and acknowledgement of rank within the royal hierarchy. The sight of Princess Kate, the wife of the future king, choosing not to curtsy to the current queen consort, was therefore a moment loaded with potential meaning. Observers at the event noted that as the royal family gathered, there was a palpable tension in the air. All eyes were on Kate as she approached Queen Camilla. Traditionally, as the Princess of Wales, Kate would be expected to show deference to Camilla, who, as queen consort, holds a higher rank. However, instead of the customary curtsy, Kate merely nodded politely before continuing on her way. The deviation from protocol was subtle, but in the world of royalty, where every gesture is scrutinized, it was enough to set off a flurry of rumors and discussions. Some insiders suggest that Kate's decision may have been influenced by a series of recent events that have strained her relationship with Camilla. It's no secret that the royal family has faced numerous challenges over the years, from the death of Princess Diana to the ongoing struggles with public perception and the media. These challenges have, at times, created rifts between different members of the family, and it's possible that these tensions are now playing out in public view. One potential source of tension could be the differing approaches Kate and Camilla have taken toward their royal duties. Kate, known for her modern approach and emphasis on mental health and children's issues, has become a beloved figure in the UK and beyond. Her calm demeanor and dedication to her role have won her widespread praise, particularly among the younger generation of royal watchers. On the other hand, Camilla's journey to becoming Queen Consort has been fraught with challenges, including her long and controversial relationship with King Charles, which was initially met with public skepticism. Over time, Camilla has worked hard to carve out her own role within the monarchy, focusing on issues such as domestic violence and literacy. Despite their different approaches, both women are united by their commitment to the monarchy and their families. However, the recent incident suggests that there may be underlying differences in how they view their roles and each other. Some sources close to the royal family have hinted that there may have been disagreements over how certain royal duties should be handled or how public appearances should be managed, leading to a build-up of tension that finally surfaced in this public moment. This isn't the first time that the British royal family has found itself at the center of public scrutiny due to interpersonal dynamics. The relationship between Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Diana, for example, was often portrayed as complex, with Diana's popularity and modern approach sometimes clashing with the traditionalism of the monarchy. Similarly, the relationship between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the rest of the royal family has been a source of intense media interest and public debate, particularly after the couple's decision to step back from their royal duties and the subsequent revelations about their experiences within the family. In many ways, the monarchy's public image is shaped as much by these personal relationships as by official duties and public engagements. The British public, and indeed people around the world, have a deep fascination with the royal family, viewing them not just as leaders, but as symbols of continuity, tradition, and national identity. As such, any sign of discord or deviation from the norm within the family is often magnified, leading to intense speculation and debate. The incident involving Kate and Camilla has also highlighted the challenges that come with navigating the complex world of royal protocol. While the rules and traditions of the monarchy are designed to maintain order and respect, they can also be a source of tension, particularly when personal feelings come into play. In this case, Kate's decision not to curtsy may have been a way of asserting her own identity and independence within the rigid structure of the royal family. The British royal family, with all its grandeur and tradition, is often seen as a symbol of continuity and stability in a rapidly changing world. Yet incidents like the one involving Princess Kate and Queen Camilla reveal the human side of this storied institution, where personal relationships and emotions intersect with the demands of duty and protocol. The refusal to curtsy might seem like a small act, but in the context of royal life, it carries significant weight, shedding light on the complexities and challenges that come with being part of such a unique and scrutinized family. As the public and media continue to speculate on the meaning behind this moment, it serves as a reminder that the royals, despite their elevated status, are not immune to the intricacies of personal dynamics. The balance between upholding tradition and navigating modern relationships is a delicate one, and this incident underscores the ongoing evolution of the monarchy as it seeks to remain relevant in the 21st century. In the coming years, as Kate and other younger royals take on more prominent roles, moments like these will likely shape how they are perceived both within the family and by the public. Will they adhere strictly to tradition, or will they seek to redefine their roles in a way that reflects their own values and the changing expectations of society? The answer to this question will play a crucial role in determining the future of the monarchy. For now, this incident stands as a moment of reflection, not just for the royal family, but for all who follow their story. It highlights the ongoing tension between personal feelings and public expectations, a theme that has run through the history of the British monarchy. As the world watches how this situation unfolds, it will be interesting to see how the royal family navigates this latest challenge and what it reveals about the future direction of the institution. Ultimately, the story of the British royal family is one of endurance, adaptation, and the constant balancing act between tradition and change. In a shocking turn of events, King Charles III has stepped down from his role as the monarch of the British royal family. This unprecedented move has sent shockwaves through the United Kingdom and around the world. Camilla, Queen Consort, has reportedly been deeply affected by this development, with sources close to the palace describing her as being in tears. This decision marks a significant moment in British history, altering the future of the monarchy in ways that were previously unimaginable. The announcement came after a series of private meetings within the royal family, leading to the king's official abdication. The news of King Charles III stepping down as the monarch of the British royal family has reverberated across the globe, marking a historic moment in the centuries-old institution. This decision, which has taken many by surprise, was made following a series of private discussions within the royal family. The gravity of the situation is evident, as sources close to Buckingham Palace have revealed that Queen Consort Camilla has been deeply moved by the decision, with reports indicating that she has been brought to tears by the turn of events. King Charles' decision to abdicate has not only shaken the foundations of the monarchy, but has also left the public and royal watchers in a state of disbelief. After years of waiting in the wings as the heir apparent, Charles ascended to the throne, following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. His reign, though short, has been marked by attempts to modernize the monarchy and address the changing dynamics of British society. However, his decision to step down comes as a significant departure from royal tradition, where abdications are rare and often carry considerable implications. In the days leading up to the announcement, there were whispers of tension and uncertainty within the royal household. Insiders have suggested that Charles faced mounting pressure, both from within the family and from external forces, to reconsider his role. The king's health, public opinion, and the future of the monarchy were reportedly central to these discussions. Despite the challenges, many believed that Charles would continue to fulfill his duties as monarch. However, the final decision to abdicate indicates the weight of the considerations he had to bear. Camilla, who has stood by Charles's side for decades, is said to have been particularly affected by the decision. As Queen Consort, she has faced her own share of public scrutiny and challenges. The prospect of Charles stepping down from the throne has added a personal dimension to the situation, amplifying the emotional toll it has taken on her. Those close to the couple have described Camilla as being visibly distressed, struggling to come to terms with the new reality of their lives. Her tears are a testament to the profound impact this decision has had on those within the royal circle. The implications of King Charles's abdication are vast and complex. For the royal family, it means a sudden shift in the line of succession, with Prince William now poised to take on the role of king sooner than anticipated. This change is likely to have far-reaching consequences for the monarchy, as William's vision for the future may differ significantly from that of his father. The British public, too, is grappling with the news as they come to terms with the idea of another transition in leadership so soon after the passing of Queen Elizabeth. Internationally, the decision has prompted reactions from world leaders and royal families across the globe. The British monarchy has long been a symbol of continuity and stability, and the abdication of a sitting monarch is a rare and significant event. Allies and observers alike are now closely watching the developments in the UK, seeking to understand the motivations behind Charles's decision and what it means for the future of one of the world's most well-known institutions. In the wake of the announcement, the media has been abuzz with speculation and analysis. Commentators are dissecting the potential reasons behind the king's abdication, from personal health concerns to the desire to pave the way for a younger generation of leadership. The role of public opinion cannot be ignored, as Charles's popularity has fluctuated over the years. Some have suggested that the king may have felt that stepping aside was in the best interest of the monarchy, allowing Prince William and his wife, Catherine, to take on more prominent roles. The abdication of King Charles III has thrown the royal family and the nation into a state of reflection and uncertainty. This decision, rooted in a complex mix of personal, familial, and public considerations, is unprecedented in the modern era. While the monarchy has weathered many storms, this particular event signifies a turning point that may redefine the future of the British royal institution. In the weeks leading up to the abdication, there were subtle signs that all was not well within the royal household. Close observers noted a shift in Charles's public demeanor. His appearances, once marked by a sense of duty and tradition, had become more subdued. Behind the palace walls, the weight of the crown seemed to be taking a toll on him. Although no official statements were made at the time, there were whispers of the king grappling with the demands of his role, compounded by concerns over his health and the increasingly complex political landscape in the UK. Reports have surfaced indicating that King Charles sought counsel from his closest advisors, including senior members of the royal family and trusted confidants. The discussions were said to be intense and fraught with emotion, as Charles weighed the responsibilities of his position against the realities of his personal circumstances. It is believed that he considered all possible outcomes, including the impact his decision would have on the monarchy, his family, and the nation. Ultimately, it seems that the king reached the conclusion that stepping down was the most responsible and dignified course of action. For Queen Consort Camilla, this period has been particularly challenging. Known for her resilience and quiet strength, she has always supported Charles through the ups and downs of public life. However, the prospect of him relinquishing the throne has reportedly shaken her deeply. Camilla's emotional response highlights the personal sacrifice and the human aspect of what is often seen as a purely institutional matter. The tears she has shed reflect not just her concern for Charles, but also the enormous changes they now face as a couple, transitioning from the roles they have both prepared for over many years. The royal family, now faced with the task of navigating this transition, is likely to undergo a period of internal realignment. Prince William, who has been steadily preparing for his future role as king, will now have to accelerate his readiness to assume the throne. William's ascension is expected to bring a new energy and direction to the monarchy, one that aligns with the expectations of a modern, diverse Britain. However, this transition will not be without its challenges. William will need to strike a delicate balance between honoring the traditions of the monarchy and embracing the progressive changes that many believe are necessary for its survival in the 21st century. As the nation processes this seismic shift, reactions have been mixed. There is a sense of sadness and nostalgia among those who have supported King Charles throughout his life, recognizing his dedication to his duties and his efforts to address contemporary issues such as climate change and social inequality. Yet, there is also a sense of cautious optimism as people look to the future with Prince William at the helm. The British public, while often critical of the monarchy, also holds a deep respect for its continuity and the symbolic role it plays in national identity. The coming months will be crucial in determining how this transition is received and what it means for the monarchy's relevance in a rapidly changing world. Internationally, King Charles's abdication has sparked a wide array of responses. Royal families across Europe have expressed their support and solidarity, recognizing the difficult decision Charles had to make. The bustling streets of Brick Lane fell silent for a moment as King Charles III stepped out of his sleek black Range Rover. The monarch, known for his reserved demeanor, was about to embark on an unexpected adventure that would set social media ablaze and capture the world's attention. As King Charles walked into the modest Bangladeshi restaurant, Gram Bangla, nobody expected what was to come next. What happened after King Charles walked into this foreign restaurant, and what did he do? Join us as we explore exactly what happened right after. King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla made an unexpected visit to Gram Bangla, a Bangladeshi restaurant on Brick Lane in East London, known for IBT's many curry houses and cultural diversity. On a February afternoon, the royal couple's arrival surprised both the patrons of the Bangladeshi place and the staff working there. King Charles, dressed in his characteristic suit, created a welcoming and approachable atmosphere that was different from what one would expect from royalty of his status. As he interacted with those in the restaurant, the initial shock of his presence quickly wore off among both diners and employees, turning into excitement among everybody present. What happened next would end up captivating the entire nation. King Charles, known for his reserved demeanor, engaged effortlessly with the restaurant staff and patrons. He exchanged pleasantries with the owner, Shams Uddin, who has been serving the community for over 2 decades. The king's actions at the venue showed a genuine interest in the restaurant's history and cuisine. The highlight of the visit came when the king, in a moment of spontaneity, as he approached the counter, had his eyes light up with curiosity. "What's that you're making?" he inquired, gesturing towards a blender in operation. The young server replied, "It's a mango lassi, Your Majesty." Taking an action that was as unplanned as it was surprising, Charles asked if he could try his hand at making one. The restaurant staff, too stunned to do anything but nod, watched as the King of England rolled up his sleeves and stepped behind the counter. The sight of the monarch performing this everyday task struck a chord with onlookers who captured the moment on their phones. As news of the royal visit spread, social media was quickly flooded with takes and opinions. Videos of King Charles making a mango lassi were being circulated widely, and they were accompanied by popular hashtags. The sight of the king taking part in such a mundane, everyday activity struck a chord with people around the world, as it showed a more personal glimpse of the king than his typical formal appearances would. What began as a brief stop on a tour of East London soon became a viral sensation. The visit to Gram Bangla had somehow revealed a different side of King Charles.
Prince Harry speaking out in a really revealing new interview.
You didn't believe she was dead.
I just refused to accept that she was gone. Part of, she would never do this to us, but also part of, maybe this is all part of a plan. I think she would be sad. I think she'd be looking at it long term, to know that there are certain things that we need to go through to be able to heal the relationship.
Do you remember the popular tragic car crash that happened in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel?
Thursday marks 20 years since Princess Diana was killed in a car crash inside a Paris tunnel.
Yes. We're talking about the one that claimed the life of Princess Diana. Do you know the incident has been shrouded in mystery and speculation? Well, not anymore, as the truth has finally been revealed, and it has been all we have been suspecting about. Prince Harry's revelation about his mother, Princess Diana, has stunned the world. In an unexpected move, he confirmed the long-standing theories suggesting her tragic death was not an accident, but an orchestrated inside job.
Shocking allegations about Princess Diana's death. Authorities now reviewing the new and sensational claim that she was actually murdered by the British government.
This admission has sent shockwaves globally, igniting debates and discussions everywhere. Stay with us as we delve into one of the most heart-wrenching events in modern royal history: the impact of Prince Harry's revelation. The British royal family, already under intense scrutiny and criticism for various reasons over the years, is now faced with a new wave of skepticism and distrust, with the public and media frequently asking several questions such as, how far does the involvement of the establishment go, and to what length they would go to protect their interest? The idea that a member of the royal family could be targeted in such a manner by those living within the same circle is deeply unsettling if we're to be unbiased about it, and this act raises ethical and moral questions about the length power can corrupt.
With Prince Harry's tell-all memoir dominating headlines, it's hard not to wonder if the royals can survive the latest scathing attack.
However, Harry's revelation challenges the narrative that has been upheld for decades. The official story had initially provided a sense of closure, although it was a painful one to the millions of people who mourned the late Princess Diana. With Harry's new information, the public is forced to revisit and reassess their understanding of the events. It was a jarring experience, as many had come to terms with the tragedy based on the information that was previously available. Well, that was the case until recent times. Now they are confronted with the possibility that there was a deliberate and malicious intent behind the loss of a figure who was not only a royal icon, but also a humanitarian and a beloved public personality. But wait, there is more to Harry's revelation.
Prince Harry says he held on to hope that Princess Diana was secretly still alive long after her passing.
Harry's admission didn't just come at the cost of revealing the truth behind Princess Diana. He also used the medium to express concerns about his personal life and the struggles he has been going through within the royal family. Harry is known for his willingness to speak out. Harry has always been seen as a rebel, a person who is unafraid to challenge the status quo, especially his decision to break away from the royal family and relocate to the United States with his wife Meghan Markle was simply a clear indication of his desire to forge his path.
A royal reversal from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They are stepping back from senior roles in the royal family. Harry and Meghan say they will work to become financially independent.
From Harry's revelations, it is evident that his actions were driven not just by personal choice, but also by a deep-seated to uncover and confront the truth about his mother's death. Even though his relationship with the media is complex, Harry is looking to set things right. So what are the revelations about Princess Diana Harry seems to know about? And is this move the preferred option for Harry? Then pay attention if you care to know more. The world's reaction to Prince Harry's revelation has been one of shock and disbelief. The whole world is talking about it. Social media is in a frenzy state, with each user to their own opinion, debates, discussions, and expression of their outrage and sorrow. Princess Diana was loved by everyone. And when the news about her passing in that crash, it sent everyone into a cold state as they mourned her.
As dawn breaks on the day of Princess Diana's funeral, the crowds are already gathering on the streets of London. 20,000 extra policemen and women have been drafted in to monitor the crowds.
Prince Harry's statement could potentially prompt a reinvestigation into Princess Diana's death. And if those responsible are found wanting, the public isn't looking for this case to be taken lightly. We don't care how powerful or influential whoever is responsible for this may be. They can't go unpunished. One user said, Princess Diana was an icon, admired and beloved by millions around the world. Her humanitarian work and compassionate nature endeared her to people far beyond the confines of the British Commonwealth. So the revelation about her death, being an orchestrated act and not an accident, will undoubtedly shock and dismay her global admirers, and can even lead to international calls for justice by countries with close ties to the British monarchy, such as Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. For historians and scholars, Prince Harry's admission opens up new avenues for research and analysis.